All right. Hello, everybody. Thank you for tuning in, and welcome to our weekly Thursday night Learn a Song live stream. My name is Bree, and I will be your host of the live stream this evening. I am the director of B2R Apex, but I also teach a few instruments at the school, and that is mainly what I will be doing this evening. If you have joined us, you might be a student at the school who is a level 1 or level 2 student who is looking to just learn a quick, fun song, or you might not take lessons with us. Tonight's live stream, I'm going to be demoing a couple different instruments, and this is going to be pretty standard to what you might experience during your first lesson at B2R. So if you enjoy tonight's live stream, stay tuned to the end. We have a promo code for any new online lessons, so make sure you stay tuned. All right, so we will be going over, I believe, 5 different instruments today. I'm going to try and get through all of them. I will be going over the song Cheap Thrills by Sia, and I will be playing it on ukulele, which I have here, piano, violin, guitar, and bass. So a great way to kind of go through this live stream is if you have one of those instruments at home and you want to jump in and participate, that's great. I'm going to be going through each instrument and showing the parts one at a time. So once I get to your instrument and I demonstrate the part, feel free to go ahead and practice your part, and then at the end, we are going to play the whole song all together. All right, so let's go ahead and jump right in. So the first instrument that I will be demonstrating is the ukulele. So I have this guy tuned up already, and in order to play Cheap Thrills, we need to know 4 different chords. The first one is called F sharp, and I'm going to kind of break down how to play these chords one by one. So for my first chord, I'm going to take my pointer finger, and I'm going to go ahead and place it on the 2nd string 1st fret. I'm going to take my 2nd finger and I'm going to put it on the bottom string 2nd fret. And I'm going to take my 3rd finger and I'm going to put it on my 3rd string 2nd fret. And if I strum all of those, I'm going to get the chord called F sharp minor. So that is my first chord that I will need to learn. My second chord is going to be called D major, and I'm going to take my 1st finger and put it on the bottom string, so the one closest to me, on the 2nd fret. And I'm going to take my 2nd finger and put it on the 2nd string, 2nd fret. And my 3rd finger, I'm also going to put on the 2nd fret, but of the 3rd string. So all of my fingers are kind of hanging out on the 2nd fret. Finger 1, finger 2, and finger 3. If I give that a strum, that is the D major chord on the ukulele. Moving on to my 3rd chord, that is called A major. This chord only has 2 fingers, so I'm going to take my 1st pointer finger and I'm going to put it on the 2nd string, 1st fret. And then I'm going to take my 2nd finger and put it on the bottom string, the one closest to me, 2nd fret. And if I give that a strum, that is going to be A major. And for my last chord, E major, this chord takes all 4 fingers. So I'm going to go to my bottom string. Oh, actually, I'm going to start this one the opposite on my top string, so the one farthest away from me. And I'm going to take my 1st pointer finger, and I'm going to go to my 2nd fret. And then I'm going to take my 2nd, 3rd, and 4th finger, and I'm going to lay those down all on the 4th fret here. So bottom string, 4th fret, 2nd string, 4th fret, 3rd string, 4th fret with my pinky finger. And that is going to be my E major chord. I'm going to go ahead and repeat all those chords one more time, And I'm going to stand up and get really, really close to the camera so you can get a very clear picture of what my fingers are doing. And then I'm going to put some notes up on the screen in case you are a ukulele player at home who reads chord diagrams. You'll see those in just a second as well. But let me show these chords nice and close up. I have F sharp. My first finger goes there, my second finger there, and my third finger there. For my second chord, I'm going to put on my second fret here, first finger, second finger, and third finger. Very nice. And for my third chord, I'm going to put my first finger here and my second finger there. And for my last chord, which this I think is the trickiest chord, I'm going to start building this chord on my top string, so the one farthest away from me. To put my first finger there, and then reach, and put my second and third and fourth finger on that fourth fret. Alright, so now that I've kind of shown you the chords on the instrument itself, let me go ahead and bring up a document that has my chords written out. And hopefully you should be able to see those chords there. So I have my first chord, it's kind of that nice little triangle shape, F sharp minor. And my second chord, D major. All of my fingers are kind of clustered on that second fret together. And then I have the chord A major. I just have two fingers involved in this chord. And then my last chord, E major, uses all four fingers, starts on the second fret of the highest string. Very nice. So if you are a ukulele player at home and you're following along, you can go ahead and take, if you would like, a screenshot or a screen grab of this chord chart, and then you can keep it up next to you as you're following along with this video. And make sure you stay tuned after your instrument is explained, because we're going to play the whole song together at the end. Alrighty, very nice. Let's go ahead and move on to our second instrument, which is going to be the piano. So I'm going to go ahead and set my ukulele down here. There we go. And let me pull up my notes for piano. And piano is going to be similar to ukulele in that there's going to be 4 different chords to learn. And I'm going to go ahead and angle this down so you can see my keyboard here. And I'll kind of go through this instrument in the same way. I'll explain it and show you the instrument first, and then I'll pull up the notes so that you can see that in just a little bit here. So my first chord is going to be F sharp, but I'm not going to play the full chord. This is a piano 1 arrangement for the song Cheap Thrills. So the first thing that I need to know is what my finger numbers are. So if I hold a thumbs up like this is going to be finger number 1. My pointer finger is going to be finger number 2. My center finger is going to be finger number 3. My ring finger is going to be finger number 4. And my pinky finger is going to be finger number 5. And I'm going to start with my thumb, which is finger number 1, on the note A. So I'm going to start by finding middle C, and I can do that by looking at these 2 kind of black notes that are right next to each other on the keyboard, and I'm going to play right to the left. That's the note C. So now I'm going to count up to the note A. C, D, E, F, G, and A. That is going to be the first note that I'm going to play. So I'm going to play A, And then I'm going to play the notes A and D together. So I have A here, and then I'm going to count up B, C, and D. My thumb and my fourth finger are going to play that chord together. That's my second chord, D. And then I'm going to keep my thumb where it is, and I'm going to use my pinky finger on the note E, which is the next key up. And then lastly, I'm going to keep my pinky finger where it is, and instead of pressing down my thumb, I'm going to do my second finger on the note B. Very nice. I'm going to go ahead and project those notes on the screen so that you can follow along at home, and I will verbally go through those directions one more time. So you should be able to see some chords on the screen now. So, very first, I have my thumb, my first finger on the note A. And for my second chord, I'm going to do my thumb and my fourth finger on the notes A and D, and I'm going to play that together. And then next, I'm going to play the notes A and E in my thumb and pinky, and if I press them down together, that's going to be my third chord. And lastly, for my last chord, I'm going to keep my pinky where it is on the note E, and then I'm going to use my first finger to press down the note B at the same time. Very nice. So if I were to play all of my chords one after the other, and I'm going to hold them down for 2 beats each, that's going to be true for all of my instruments in this song. This is how it's going to sound. I'm going to have my first chord, 1, 2, second chord, 3, 4, third chord, 1, 2, fourth chord, 3, 4. All right, very nice. So again, if you are a piano player who is following along at home, you can feel free to take a little screen capture or a screen grab of these notes, and then you can have them up beside you as you're following along with the video. All right. And moving right along to our next instrument, we have quite a few to get through today. We are going to be looking at the violin, which I will go grab off the wall behind me. Now, this tutorial is going to be really, really useful for those violin players out there who maybe you're a level 1, but you know the notes in your D scale, as we will be doing a little bit of music reading. Luckily for the B2R curriculum, the D scale is the first scale that we learn at our school, so hopefully you violin players out there have been using this extra time at home to play through some of your scales. So, the notes that we will need to know for this song are F sharp, which is going to be my second finger on the D string. That's my first note, and I'm going to play that twice. For my next note, D, I'm going to still be playing that second string, but I'm just going to lift my fingers off. And I'm going to play that second string open. So here is D. Very nice. For my third note A, I need to head on over to my third string, and I'm going to play that open. And for my final note E, I need to take my first finger on my second string, and that is going to be the note E. So if I loop all of that together, it's going to sound like this. And those 4 notes continue for the entirety of the song. let me go ahead and bring the visual notes up on the screen so that if you are a violin player who reads music, you can go ahead and follow along with this guide. And here I see my 4 notes. I see F sharp, D, D, A, and E, E. Feel free to grab a screenshot of this as well as I play through these notes one more time. All right, very nice. I'm going to very gently set my violin down. And we are moving right along to our last 2 instruments, which are guitar and bass. I think I will grab my acoustic guitar behind me and go through that first. Now, if you are playing along at home, you do not have to use an acoustic guitar. An electric will do fine as well. Oh, and let me get that bottom string tuned up. Much better. All right. So, for our song today, we are going to need 4 different power chords. Now, if you've taken guitar lessons before at B2R, you're probably pretty familiar with power chords. But if you are new to us, there are a couple kind of golden rules about power chords. The first rule is that I use my first finger, which for guitar is my pointer finger, and my third finger, which for guitar is going to be my ring finger. And you use those 2 fingers to help you play these chords. And when you're forming your power chord, you're always going to put your first finger down, and your third finger goes on the next string over 2 frets up. So if I were to build a power chord, let's say on my 2nd fret, which just so happens to be where my first chord starts, and take my pointer finger, go to my bottom string, the one closest to me, and find my 2nd fret. And I'm going to go ahead and plant that finger there. For my 3rd finger, I need to go to the next string over, so that would make it my 2nd string, and I need to count 2 frets up. So let's count 1, 2. That is where my 2nd finger is going to go. Now, another golden rule of power chords is that I don't strum all of my strings. That doesn't sound too nice. I am just going to strum the strings that my fingers are placed on. So in this case, it would be the bottom string and my 2nd string. Let me go ahead and grab a pick here. So my first chord, F sharp minor, is going to sound like this. And that is with my first finger on the bottom string, 2nd fret, and with my 3rd finger on the 2nd string, 4th fret. And for my next chord, the chord D, I'm going to have my first finger once again, as this is a power chord. I'm going to find my 2nd string. So this bottom string and then my 2nd string. I'm going to find my 5th fret. So I'm going to count up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And I'm going to go ahead and plant my finger there. Next, I'm going to take my 3rd finger, and you guessed it, golden rule of power chords. I'm going to go to my next string down. In this case, it would be my 3rd string, and go 2 frets up. 1, 2. And I'm going to go ahead and place my finger there. And that is going to be my 2nd chord, D major. Next up, I'm going to go back to my bottom string, so the string closest to me, and I'm going to find the 5th fret. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And I'm going to go ahead and place my finger there, and then I'm going to use my 3rd finger and go over to my 2nd string on my 7th fret. And I'm going to go ahead and play that. Those 2 strings together. Then for my last chord, E, luckily it only takes 1 finger. I'm going to go to my 2nd string, 1, 2, and find my 2nd fret. 1st fret, 2nd fret. And for this chord, it's a little different. I'm going to play my bottom string open, and then my 2nd string that has a finger placed on the 2nd fret. So together the strings sound like this. Alright, so now that I kind of gave you a verbal guide through the chords, let me pull my notes up on the screen so that you have a good visual representation to work with as well. There we go. So, as I play through these notes, feel free to get a screen grab or a screenshot of these visual representations for my notes. And again, that is my 1st chord, F sharp minor, that I'm going to hold for 2 beats. 1, 2. My 2nd chord, D major, that I'm going to hold for another 2 beats. 1, 2. Then I'm going to move to my 3rd chord, A, that I'm also going to hold for 2 beats. 1, 2. And then my 4th chord, E, that I'm also going to hold for 2 beats. All right, we have one final instrument that I'm going to grab from the wall behind me. We have our bass. All right, and for our bass, we are just going to be dealing with 1 string at a time. Let me make sure we have sound here. Yeah. All right. So, my bass is a little bit different than a guitar. I'm only dealing with 4 strings here. Doesn't make it any less cool. I really love the bass. Hopefully we have some bass players following along at home. And let me find my bass notes. Here we go. So for this song, I only need 4 notes. Kind of similar to how the violin was playing. I'm going to play 2 notes and I'm going to play them twice. That would make these quarter notes. So for my first note, I'm going to go to my bottom string, the one closest to me, and I'm going to find my 2nd fret, and I'm going to play that twice. Very nice. For my 2nd note, I'm going to find my 3rd string, so the one closest to me is number 1, and then number 2, and then number 3, and I'm going to play that string open. And then for the next note, I need to find my 2nd string, so the one closest to me is number 1, this one's number 2, and I'm going to play that open, so no fingers. And then finally, I'm going to find my bottom string one more time, the one closest to me, and I'm going to count up to fret 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And that's going to be my last note. So if I play that all together, I have my first note right here, 3rd string open, 2nd string open, bottom string 4th fret, and I'm going to loop those notes over and over again for the entirety of the song. And let me go ahead and bring up my notes here on the screen so that you can follow along if you have your bass at home. And the notes that I'm playing are highlighted here in pink. This is our bass level 1 version of Cheap Thrills that we have here at B2R. Here they have you playing a little bit more of an advanced riff. If you read tab and you would like to go ahead and attempt this riff, you can go ahead and do so. But I wanted to make this really accessible for really early level 1 players and also level 1 players who maybe you have played a couple bass riffs in your day. So you can feel free to do either. So going through the notes one more time, I have my first note F sharp, my second note D, my third note A, and then my last note is the pink box underneath E, is that 4th fret on the bottom string. All right, very nice. So we have just enough time here. We made it through all 5 instruments. So thank you if you were a ukulele player way at the beginning. Hopefully you had a lot of time to practice while I was covering the other instruments. I'm going to take a moment here and get the song pulled up. And hopefully you guys learned something new throughout this little tutorial today. And it's time to put it all together at the end and play the song all together. Get our audio pulled up in just a moment. Here we go. One, two, here we go.
Come on, turn the radio on. It's Friday night and it won't be long. Gotta do my hair, put my makeup on. It's Friday night and it won't be long. Hit the dance floor, hit the dance floor. I got all I need. No, I ain't got cash, but I got you, baby. Baby, I don't need dollar bills to have fun tonight. Baby, I don't need dollar bills to have fun tonight. I don't need no money, as long as I can feel the beat. Come on, turn the radio on. It's Saturday and it won't be long. Gotta paint my nails, put my high heels on. It's Saturday and it won't be long. Hit the dance floor, hit the dance floor. I got all I need. No, I ain't got cash, but I got you, baby. Baby, I don't need dollar bills to have fun tonight. Baby, I don't need dollar bills to have fun tonight.
you everybody for joining us this evening. Again, my name is Bree. I am the site director at B2R Apex. If you enjoyed playing along with me this evening, again, this is a pretty good representation of what we do during a first lesson here at B2R. Our philosophy is we like to get students playing songs that they enjoy really, really quickly. It just helps them stay connected to music that they really enjoy and keeps them practicing. So if you would like to take an online lesson with one of our fantastic teachers, we are running a promotion right now where you can register online on our website and use the code online50 for half off of your first lesson. Hopefully we'll see some of you guys around the school virtually and also eventually in person. I hope you enjoyed the song this evening, and don't forget to tune in to see another instructor go through a different song next Thursday at 6:15. All right, have a great night, guys.